Hey, welcome back to Wise Kracks. I am at Westgate. Bill Krackomberger's at Westgate. I got the Dodgers behind me, up another touchdown as they were from yesterday. What do you think of that, Randy? Dodgers, never mind minus 1.5. The bet is Dodgers minus 12.5 every day. That's what kind of odds you get on that?
Some guys are coming after you.
Big news in Colorado. They won today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Colorado's
Dashers,
worse than the
Colorado.
White Sox were last year, which is hard to beat. Bill, that looks really good right there, actually, that shot.
And back of me is these machines they sell, Lucky Box Vending. I got to be honest with you. I love the Westgate and stuff. These, I wasn't planning to talk about this as you said it, though. These machines that sell, here, let me turn the camera on it for a minute. I might as well get thrown out of here. All right. So look, see these machines that sell these cards and they show pictures of like Kobe Bryant. Right now it's Pokemon, Ronaldo. So they show all these cards and they're ridiculous. You put it's not worth it financially to buy baseball cards, football cards, soccer cards, Pokemon cards out of a machine. Now, if you're doing it to have a fun aspect, okay, have some fun. Pokemon booster packs I'm looking up right now. But I'm not looking to get a 10 graded perfect autograph authenticated. Right now they're showing the rookie card of why wouldn't you show that Mahomes rookie card, Jokic rookie card? I mean, there's not a Mahomes rookie card in that machine. So
No way.
And no, that's
There's
ridiculous.
Is there any shot at something of value in those? Or
Yeah, there is, and that's the high in it. The guy in front of you gets one thing. Downtown, these are really big, but just go buy the cards on eBay for a retail authorized person and know what you're getting and why you're getting it and who you're getting it from. Again, wasn't even planning to talk about that, but that's the machine I'm at right now. Casinos have many ways of trying to make extra money, and I fully get it. Well, first off, guys, I was going to wear my AC/DC horns, which I forgot, darn it, and to open the show. And what John's got his master's hat. Yeah, the AC/DC. There's the man. John's got one. I'm sorry, Randy has
good
one
on
too.
Me, Bill. Thank you.
I got it.
Looks
yeah,
good.
No problem. Yeah, you got to take the price tag off. Anyway, we went to AC/DC the other night. John, Randy, me, a bunch of other guys. We actually got the suite I was hoping to get, which we did. And I'll tell you what, I think Angus Young was unbelievable. I did not expect him to be at 70 years old with a little, schoolboy outfit on, little beanie, running around the thing like he was sprinting up and down, running down the center. It was 70 years old. Brian Johnson's going to be 78, by the way. So Brian Johnson up there singing. He maybe, of course, doesn't have the voice he had when he was younger. They had the music up a little bit too loud over his voice too, because he still has a good voice. I mean, I was listening to him, and he was great too. The whole band was great. It was a great night. Our seats were great. That's the same box we sit in when I get Raiders tickets. John has sat in those same seats multiple times, and you get the food in the suite, which was decent, but you also get the food in the hallway, all different types of foods, and the dessert station there. Unfortunately, I stayed away from that, but I mean, they have cookie dough. They have big mounds of cookie dough out there, I've seen. And then you can go downstairs you can actually, there's a buffet downstairs you can actually go to also.
We went.
With it. Yeah, I didn't go. You guys went. I wanted to make sure no one took
It was
seats.
good.
There's only 16 seats in this suite, so the rest are standing room only. Just so happens that we had a seat for all of us and everyone, even the people that came in. It was cool. It worked out well.
We had a seat because what did you do to get them?
What did I do?
You remember the word?
Oh, I procured them. Yeah. Oh yeah. I said you guys go ahead. I'm gonna procure the seats, and every seat had a little thing on it. So I put
that
stuff
was your
on
word of the day. Your word of the day was, I'm going to procure the seats.
Let me tell you, what do you guys think a box goes for like that at an AC/DC concert? What do you guys think?
Man, I mean, it's got to be
20 seats, some food, 20 seats. What do you think?
I'm going 20K.
Well, that's a good
25K.
number. Randy,
I'll go a little lower.
you're
I
both
don't know what the
way
number
you're
is,
both
but-
way wrong.
Are we
Okay.
low? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Really?
50K.
Oh, it's about
50K?
about 50K. Yeah.
Wow. That
I
makes
never
sense. I
guessed
mean,
that.
Totally sick, isn't it? I mean, I know for the
Yeah.
football games it's 50, but for the concerts, I figured it was half of that. Your number, John. That's what I guessed. But that was a great night. It was good. It was great to see
Wow.
ACD. Probably our last time we'll see them. I've seen them 3 times. Probably the last
Yeah.
time. My wife really pushed me into going this show. I'm more of the relaxed kind of music. Like she wanted to go see Metallica. They went to see Metallica there, and the next night we seen Billy Joel, my type of music. So, but yeah, she likes that stuff. Motley Crue, Kiss. I used to when I was younger, but anyway, it was a great night. I thought they were great. I thought Angus was unbelievable. Now, did you guys notice something? I'm a concert guy, especially when basketball season's over. I like going to concerts. I like getting good seats. If I don't get that suite, I like getting good seats. So I go to a Rolling Stone show every couple of years. I usually get first or second row. I pay ridiculous amount of money, but I wait till the day of the show. That's the time that you want to wait because tickets always are dropping. They're afraid people aren't going to buy them. So the big thing now, there's a concern for the artist safety. I noticed that in a couple shows now. There's no more of like up close. They used to put right against the stage. You're right against the stage, and you're literally. I've had Ronnie Wood and Keith Richards both hand me a guitar pick over the years, even in Madison Square Garden. That doesn't happen anymore. There's a barrier of about 5 to 8 feet. I noticed this show more than any that they had a giant down the runway. Literally, the runway, you used to be able to like lean on the runway, and that's not happening anymore. There's 7 feet between the runway and the seats in sections 1 and 3, which are on each side, compared to section 2 in the middle. There's a big gap there, and it's because fans are so brazen now. Fans will do anything. They watch things on the internet. There's stunts that they do. There's dares they do. These kids do. Just stupid things happen. I noticed at the golf tournament season. I watched something on Netflix. I watched one of the specials on 1994. It was a 30 for 30. The year that it was Arnold Palmer played his last U.S. Open. It was the Knicks. Knicks were in the playoffs and should have maybe even won everything there. They lost on Game 7, I think it was. The Rangers won that year. It was a really cool thing. But you see the different events. One of which was the golf events. When they're hitting the golf ball, total silence. Even after they hit where the ball lands, then they'll say something. Now, as soon as they hit the ball, someone wants to get their voice on air and scream, not just "you're the man," they'll scream anything. I mean, it's just a different self-centered social media world now.
Sounds like
The class.
1995 you're referring to.
Well, the special was it's on Netflix right now. It's the 30 for 30, and it is on. It is about the 1994 season. It's said, but it could have been the crossover for 95. Here I said no one goes to these machines, but goodness sake. So yeah, look what I'm saying.
There we go. Big sales.
This is sucker born every night. That's all I can say. Anyway, there goes Dad's credit card. Excellent. But anyway, yes. Yeah, so that was it's just a different. I noticed the difference though. Now I wrote some notes down here for a lead-in story about tourism. I said, the profit numbers have been off the charts. I remember sitting in my place, right next door here, by the way, on Turnberry, up on the 31st floor. It's where we filmed Action. If any of you guys seen the Showtime show Action, I looked over the strip, and it was totally dead, silent. It was closed. All the casinos were closed. It was during COVID. And I said, wow, this is never coming back again. It's going to come back, but much different now. Well, not only did it come back, it came back in a giant way. Oh, my God. Numbers off the chart, breaking records every year. So, even though I'm a little bit of a naysayer about Vegas, it's going to be affected. by different things happening. A lot of European tourists, Canadian tourists. Canadians make up 30% of our international tourists here, and there's a lot of people not coming here. So we're definitely down on the volume, but as far as the gambling dollars, we're really not 1%. And downtown, the Strip is doing really good. The Strip's getting some big numbers. So, gaming wise, they were up like 5% of profits. So maybe you're not seeing maybe a lot of the non-gaming revenue people come in like they were, but the numbers are still up casino wise. And it's listen, there's a couple things that always survive in I don't want to even use the word, but for lack of a better word, depression. Believe it or not, vices survive. Gambling, drinking, vices survive. So
they'll always find the money for that, right? They always find the money for
that. Listen, remember they were giving out the checks, the checks that they were giving out, whatever it was. I don't know what they were called.
Stimulus checks.
The stimulus checks. Yeah. The casinos were packed. They were. I mean, they were packed with people wanting to cash their checks in the casino. I have a friend that has a sneaker store in San Diego, downtown San Diego. One of the most really, he's got like some of the hippest things there. It was astronomical the money he was doing in sneakers when those stimulus checks were going on. This is what people were spending: stimulus checks, TVs, Walmart. It wasn't. Maybe it's putting money in the economy.
Necessities.
Yeah. There was no boxes of cheese and stuff. And I said that years ago. Remember my grandmother, who were in up in North Jersey, and that's what you would have. You'd when there was they have lines. There was cheese lines. They give you a block of cheese, literally, for each family. You get a block of cheese or a turkey, and people weren't buying food. They were buying sneakers and TVs. So anyway, the Vegas numbers definitely have are going to be down with someone else buying something. Not buying something. I'm wrong. I admit when I'm wrong. Buying something at the machine. Anyway, I didn't find it interesting. Unbelievable. But anyway, all right. So a little bit of things. There is some pullbacks. I was watching that M2M podcast that I like, and I knew about it anyway, but they rehashed it. So the casinos are laying off concierge. It's called the concierge desk employees. They laid off like 34 at one of the properties in town, all across the different casinos. I got to tell you something. I really don't use concierge desk. There's one at Circa, Randy, right behind the escalator there. Did you even know that? Like, there's always two people in there. I never even asked a friend, "What am I going to get, a magazine?" Like, what do you use it for? Or have either one of you guys used it?
I'm so glad you brought this up, because I was arguing with people on Instagram over this when they announced this the other day. They kept it at the two properties that make sense, right? They kept it at Bellagio and they kept it at Aria. I just don't think that the customer and the clientele at Luxor, Excalibur, New York, I don't think they necessarily need valet parking. I don't think they're using the concierge. To me, this makes sense. They tried to frame this up as a story of like Vegas is on a downward spiral, and I completely disagree. I think they're just trimming the fat.
Yeah, Randy, yourself, you ever use concierge?
I used the concierge at Circa, but it was just for a limo pickup. It was nothing major. It was just setting up a time for the limo pickup, and usually my host did it, but he happened to be on vacation. So that's the only time I've used a concierge, probably in the last year.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't even know you guys knew about this was happening. So John heard the same thing I heard. I just don't think, listen, we had lines at the airport the other day. It was the third busiest day ever in Las Vegas history. Third busiest day ever leaving Las Vegas. TSA lines. Now, granted, 60,000 of them were AC/DC. So I think it was 57,000 or something like that. So leaving on Sunday was one of the, and then there was a couple conventions, and even like last week, I wasn't here when I was down at the golf tournaments, wrestling. We have things that generate revenue every weekend here, and I don't think Vegas is going nowhere. Like as far as being hurt, maybe they're not off those. They're not going to reach these highs they had. Literally, there was highs they never, ever, ever expected these past few years in revenue. They never knew there was going to be these numbers, and there was no forecast with these numbers. They were like shocked by the numbers that they've been making. So maybe you're going to be down a little bit. It's not a big deal. It's nothing to panic about, in my opinion.
And when those places open, like if you use valet parking as the example, when all those places open, valet parking was free in this city. All you did was tip. So once they changed that model and they started charging for valet, and valet is whatever it is, $35 or whatever, you're not going to valet your car at the Excalibur for $35 when your room is $29 a night. I mean, it's not going to happen. There's just no need for it. Like,
100%, 100%. Guys, let's talk about our first sponsor. Well, first, I actually will appreciate and the Westgate here for letting us film the great Westgate Superbook. Love this place. One of the best places in town. Reduced juice during the season, and it's a Superbook. You're in the original here. This place is just great. Heritage Sports or heritagesports.eu. They're having, of course, like I said to you guys last week, 10-cent lines in baseball, which I just can't find. Everything starts at 15 in this town. There's places that start at 20. They're ridiculous. And what that means is minus 130, come back $1.10. Whereas Heritage is minus 130, come back $1.20. So Kentucky Derby, they have a rebate special going there too at Heritage. You can just go to heritagesports.eu. Been around 30 years. Their sign-up bonuses, 100% free play sign-up bonus, reduced juice, rebate bonus, 50% reload bonus, even if you are an existing customer. Bitcoin insurance, heritagesports.eu. Here we go, guys. Now, my next subject matter, I got some subjects to talk about. John's going to be familiar with this. So here at the Westgate this past weekend, Frankie Valli was here. Frankie Valli, I think he just turned 91. John and I seen him last year. We're here with his dad. We went backstage with him, hung out with him, got some great photos, talked some great shop. And, he's getting a lot of heat on social media about this is elder abuse. They shouldn't do. Listen to me. This is not about money. I'll tell you that right now. Frankie Valli got plenty of money. Sick money. They
plenty
got
of
sick
money.
Those Jersey Boys shows, they've made a fortune. So, anyway, one of my lines I told to Frankie Valli was from Goodfellas, and I said, "What do you think? You're Frankie Valli or some kind of big shot?" He said, "No one tells him that." But anyway, So he was here this weekend, and I want to just tell you, people just want to see him. I don't care if he's lip syncing some songs. People want to see him. He's not physically hurting. He loves to be there. And by the way, he's also supporting his band and they keep making them have a good living. He's making it just like your dad did. So, I love.
He's absolutely there. He's absolutely there by choice. I think it keeps him going. I think you might even argue if he wasn't doing it, he may not have lived to see 91. Right?
That's right.
It's what he does.
It is.
I saw Eddie Money 1 year before he passed away.
Oh man, that's the first concert I ever seen. The first concert I ever seen, 1983, I think it was I was a little kid, so I snuck there. My parents didn't know I was there. I'd be dead. So 1984, and I was in like 8th grade, and I went to go see Eddie Money and 38 Special. It was my first concert I've ever seen.
Oh wow!
It was in the Meadowlands, and Shakin'. What else does he have? Money. He's got a couple other great songs.
Water.
Yeah, he had some great songs. By the way, I know some people that went backstage with him. They said what a great guy he was, what a great guy he is. And my friend Ralph Bright, I went to dinner with him the other night. He just talked about Eddie Money and him and his wife, so it was great. But now, guys, that terrible tragedy in Washington, Baltimore area, that when they had I think it was right at the airport they were landing in, when this plane collided with the helicopter a few months back, killed all those people, those poor kids. So now other airports are using this AI technology, so this kind of a thing doesn't happen again. So the AI technology, do you know what airport they said is more dangerous? Right here.
Really?
Harry Reid, number one most dangerous airport This
What?
technology is supposedly making for safer with the helicopters that are constantly going over the strip
Oh.
here. With you can rent it. I don't know the company's
Yep.
name, but you can
Maverick.
rent Maverick. You can rent a helicopter. Las Vegas, #1 most dangerous airport. That's how many planes fly in and out of here. But this technology supposedly is going to enhance and upgrade it so we're made to be one of the safest airports. I like to hear that. And I heard that this week, and I was like, wow, I didn't. I really didn't know that. I don't know. I just think that we have a Terminal 3 now, not just one. And I'm thinking we're bigger, but we may not be bigger. You know, we may not be.
But we haven't had any incidents, at least that I know of, right? I don't think we've had anything.
No, I don't think we've had anything at all, too. You know, one of my subjects. Now, listen, I seen this myself on YouTube, and then everyone hit me with it. I'm sure I haven't talked to you guys about this, but I'm sure you both know this 24-year-old kid in Indiana that wasn't paid like $800,000. John,
yes, I sent it to you. I sent it to you on yeah.
Okay. I already had it first day though, but it didn't matter. Everyone sent me
I tweeted it. I tweeted it and you liked it. Yeah.
Oh, Randy, you heard about this, right?
By the Caesars properties, I believe.
Caesars properties. Yeah, that's exactly what. I wrote down some notes. They're really for my decent show tomorrow, but I'll tell you guys too what I feel. You'll be shocked because I am not a real big fan of Caesars properties because of them throwing me out or limiting people to nothing just for using our brains. So normally and not that I don't have the kids back here, but there's more to this than it seems. This kid's playing a little bit of Nicky the Dunce role, like he doesn't know any better. He's 24 years old. And the camera's interviewing him. I live home with my parents, and they robbed me. And my mom. First of all, no one's going to the sports book and betting $30,000 on parlays if you don't know what you're doing a little bit. So he is part of a very smart group. I understand, and I don't know this for a fact, but he is part of a. I don't know this part for a fact. Maybe they found because everything he's betting is parlays, which is the sucker bet. Normally, we know that. John always plays in San Diego. But, you know, the only time Randy and I will bet a parlay, and I'll admit it, is probably to circumvent an overnight limit where I don't want the line moving. So if a college basketball team, if I know 3 basketball teams tomorrow are all +3, I know tomorrow they're not going to be +3. It's more of an advantage to bet the parlay and round robins by 2s and 3s, or just, that's a 3-team parlay, than betting the straight bet at the counter for a max bet of $500. They're going to move the line and ruin the whole market. Rather bet 2s and 3s, rather go undercover and maybe bet smaller tickets myself, but not to the tune of 6 figures. Come on. This kid got a little bit too greedy. He really did. And, I'll just tell you, I don't even know if it wasn't a bad line. Randy, you on that video, you could see some of his tickets. They look like major teams. So if you go back and look, I didn't do it. I didn't put that much time to do it. You can go back and look at somebody's screenshots, and maybe something was +7, that was -7. And they just keyed it and round robin and parlayed it with all different combinations. So it's going to be an advantage bet by the time the game kicks off. Now, Randy and I, we're names in the industry. We can't even bet something like that. We're better off going to the counter and just telling them and hoping it pays us back in the future in the way of comps or maybe passes or future arguments we may have. Hey, you gave us a break on this line. Maybe, not that always happens that way either. Now, granted, let me just tell you, there's certain books, even in this town, I will absolutely try to destroy because they cheat. So I'll try to cheat them back. Absolutely. Of course, I'm not sitting in one of them, but there are books like that. So we don't know what happened here. The things I don't like, Caesars probably free rolled them. So they didn't tell them that your tickets are canceled until after the game, according to his story. Now, I'd love to talk to someone from Caesars. It's an open invitation, but they would never do it. They're not going to come on and talk about it and present their side. But they may have a side. But for them, until they open their mouths and say something, we only have one side. That's what we have to go with.
Now,
They
do
may have
you think
free rolled.
is there any case where he has a chance legally to pursue this and actually end up getting paid or no?
I go by an old adage, you book a bet, you pay a bet. I think he's supposed to get paid. It's not his fault or our fault that you don't have auto movers on your lines. And what I mean by that is, if you bet something, so much volume, it should automatically move the line. You shouldn't be able to bet it over and over and over and over again. Even if it was for $90, he's going under the limit, $50, $90. But in parlays, it can equal a lot of money in accumulators, which it did. So they should have something like that in place. And if that's really not our fault. Now, he's going to go to
Nevada.
gaming.
In Nevada, he gets paid. In the other states, he's not going to get paid probably.
Hold on, Randy. What do you mean? They didn't pay people over at Bellagio here. They didn't pay people, but gaming want to get. They have printed tickets.
Usually, always in the rules in Nevada, tickets go as written.
That's not the way it happened. Listen, I always thought that too. I always thought that too. That did not happen here last summer. Was it maybe the end of basketball season? About a year ago, over at the MGM kiosk, the person supposedly didn't get paid the group. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 99%.
That's a new precedent then, because always the precedent was tickets go as written. And I remember years ago, Golden Nugget put up LSU plus like 35 points against this little school in football when they should have been minus 35. Golden Nugget had to pay out all those plus 35s on LSU.
Wow. I'd like to ask Tony Miller what happened there. I know.
Oh, he'll tell you.
Yeah, because that's what it is. It's a line error. So, and we know there are people like lions hunting and looking for weak gazelle. There are people that's all they do is scour every sports book for mistakes. So, and I'm not saying that's what this kid did, but I'm just, how can you win $800,000 in part? By the way, that wasn't the only ones. FanDuel, and there was another company. There was another company. I never heard of the company actually. FanDuel, Blue Chip Gaming. I heard of them, but I'm wrong. But FanDuel and Blue Chip Gaming paid him on his parlays, but just threw him out. Banned him from future betting. Caesars decided not to pay him and just do what you want, kid. But in the end, I think he should be paid. It's not his fault that you had bad lines up if you did, or he was circumventing limits and you didn't catch it. No one caught it there to the tune of $800,000. Like I said, I actually would choose to have his back. But anyway, that's just like I said, the kid was no dummy. He's playing the kiosk instead of the counter, going undercover, and rather than go to a large wager at the counter. Maybe one of those lines were wrong. We don't know. But in the end, I think he should get paid, but I don't think he'll get paid. Because here's what happens. He goes to a gaming board. These gaming boards outside of Nevada are pretty new. So they're pretty new to gaming boards. And, they're trying to police the table games and slot machines. And, they don't even know what 11 to 10 is a lot of times in sports. And now you want me to police whether someone bet a wrong line or circumvented limits or something in their laws. So, I don't know.
Most of them aren't player friendly. So,
yeah, 100%.
I don't know what state he did this in, but the other states outside of Nevada aren't towards the player. Believe me.
No, it's simple. They get paid indirectly from the casinos. If there was no casinos, they wouldn't have jobs. Not that they're supposed to police the games for fairness on both sides, but we know how that works. But again, he could have done this differently and went undercover and tried to win 40 or 50,000. But no, he went to win 800,000. And you're only seeing what the news portrays. Well, we know that the news companies, they don't know. They don't know anything. They're just going by what the kid says. So, this poor 24-year-old kid lives home with mom and dad. But anyway, I want to talk about that. Let's go, Robert. Let's go into our this week's WagerWire. What would you do bet? Now, this guy's got a three-legger. Look, I'm not laughing. I just laugh at Come on, Robert. Did I just see a little grocery dollar on that?
Wait.
Okay.
Is it up? Put it up. Let me see.
That's unbelievable. You can even win that. It's a three-teamer.
Right.
You're going to show John that he's going to be flying around throwing dollars down on all these parlays now.
I'm in.
Yeah. So $1 to win. Let's put it back up again so I can see. $1 to win.
How many teams? How many teams?
Three teams. Only three. Only three.
Dude.
Which I'm very impressed with. Only a three-teamer here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Robert, I can't see it. Sorry. So he already won. What did he? He won on Florida. What's the buyout? I want to buy out.
Buy out.
Okay. So for $50, for $50, that's the entire thing, or is it 50%? Okay. All right. Now, all three of us are going to let it ride. I can tell you that. We're going to let it ride and see what happens in this next round. Here in the
Let
NBA.
it ride with Cleveland.
Right, with Cleveland, right. For this next round in the NBA. But I find it interesting that I have to be honest with you. I probably didn't know you could bet $1. So you could bet $1 on that on parlays. I thought there was like a $5 minimum or something. So wow. Well, that's the end of all the non-cursing on the show. Thanks, Robert. Okay. Okay. So $1 to win 1,900 and change. He's already won. He has a profit here. He can profit out. But I would wait until Cleveland goes by there, and then I would still probably look to do a buyout. Though WagerWire, they had some great cash outs recently for people. We know what happened on that big Duke thing, and WagerWire's been around for a while. Great app, great site, some great offers up there, great people. All right, guys. What were you talking about? The Dodgers. Let's finish with the Dodgers. Because, John,
let's finish.
Well,
go ahead.
Here's why I say it. Some people are really picking on you in the notes there, in the comments about Dodgers. How'd you do now, John? And yeah, since you said it, you totally jinxed them. They lost like 10 out of 11. But
that is true.
They've won back some now, right?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. I mean, the last today they won by almost a touchdown. The Marlins came back a little. They won 12-7 today, 15-2 yesterday. They won 7-6, so that wouldn't have cashed in there for that. But then against the Pirates, they won 9-2, 8-4. It's all right.
All right. I was looking too. Yeah. Randy, any more hockey stuff? Randy, you gave me a couple hockey winners. You had one day where you ran a little unlucky, and now you're afraid to give us anything again. What happened to that? What's up with that?
Of course, I've been traveling. I actually had a plus 250 dog yesterday that lost. They had a 3-0 lead and lost in double overtime with the Devils. But
3-0 lead.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's rare in the
playoffs,
4-3, right?
And a 4-3 lead. And losing, but I got a couple plays today. I got Tampa Bay minus the 105 against Florida, and I got the St. Louis Blues in Winnipeg. Hellebuck's been struggling, the Jets, so a plus 150 looks like that game's going to be close. So that looks like a pretty good play.
So people aren't going to be able to see it here, but you put some stuff on Twitter when you like something too, right? You're at RR39. Randy put some stuff on Twitter. John puts some stuff on Twitter once in a while.
Sure do.
What about this Saturday?
What's going on?
Kentucky Derby.
Oh, John, thank God you said that. So I asked Paul Matisse to come on last second.
Yeah.
Great. Paul and his brother, the Duke, they've been thrown out of more. I don't know. All right, well, I already said it. So they've been thrown out of a lot of places because they are two of the sharpest horse guys in the world. and they get thrown of a lot of accounts and stuff. They're really sharp. So, all right, I'm going to give you the what he said to me. He said, "I think sovereignty. Now I don't know anything about how many horses are running or anything. Sovereignty is the horse that beat. Second choice on the money line. All right. Oh, journalism is the favorite.
Journalism, yes.
The clockers love him, but he's been running in 5-horse fields and now has to run against a 20-horse field. There you go. See, I didn't read the text. So there's Paul's. And John, what do you want to bury everyone with? What do you got?
Journalism. I'm not big on betting favorites in the Derby, but I'm telling you, Journalism is a monster horse. He is the son of Curlin. Curlin was a big horse back in the day. Journalism, Publisher. You'll like this one. Publisher is a long shot, 30-1. It's a maiden. The horse has never won a race, Bill. Horse gambling is all about the story. It's all about what's the headline going to say. Can't you see the headline that the big upset could be Publisher? The first race this horse ever wins in his career is the Derby, or maybe he completes the Exacta.
It's better than nothing. And I know in these type of races, people do say there's value compared to grinding every day in horse races. So
you can bet some matchups too in the Derby, and
that's what you want to do.
A couple of those. So
you want to bet matchups because the matchups only have a couple % edge compared to a future. I agree with that.
Fade John, that's probably the best way to fade him.
Now, I'm glad people say that you picked on it, because people say to me, Bill, why do you pick on John? But John loves it. He enjoys it. It's just, and it's nice to have
smoke. I don't mind.
Yeah.
But also can't you just see the Exacta? Journalism and Publisher, they go together, right? Publisher, a newspaper, journalism.
Wow.
It's there, man. It's there for the taking.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. This week's Wise Kracks. We'll finish with that. And John, give you a couple horses there. He won't stop.
Oh, you want the
homeless shelter?
Before we go, the update on the Westgate coming out with new contests.
This is important here. Go ahead. What do you got?
So I heard Jeff Sherman on VEASAN before we came on, and they're doing a 5K Survivor this year. Director Murray, the new director, is trying to make a splash.
Nice.
So they're doing a 5K Survivor. You can buy up to 10 entries, so 50,000 there if you want to empty the pocket. They're doing 1,500 super contests this year instead of 1,000. The Westgate Gold's still the same. You can buy 10 in the super contest. The Westgate Gold, I think you can only buy 3 at 5,000. And they're doing, and this one will be more to our people. They're doing a $500 college football one.
Oh, wow.
Where you got to put in 7 picks.
Nice.
So that I think will be the big one. That'll be the most popular one, and you can do up to 10 entries in that as well.
Wow, good. Do you know it's the same thing? No juice in none of those contests, Randy?
Yeah, that I don't know all the details.
I would think it is. They're trying to
and all that, but
they're competing with Circa. So that's great. I'm glad they have some competition. Competition's always better for us players and you players home. Thanks for watching Wise Kracks, and we'll see you next week.